Enjoying secrets of a sugar daddy? How about a little something extra? Here's today's dose of extra sugar with Marcus.
Hey, this is Marcus, and welcome to this segment of Extra Sugar. Hey, I just wanted to thank again everyone who entered the contest to come party with the crew of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. The party is 2 weeks away, and we are so excited. We've been doing a lot of planning. We've already contacted all the winners, so if you have not been contacted at this point, I feel terrible because we had so many entries, and we only had a limited number of people that could come. We actually expanded the party a little bit, but because we got some extra sponsors in, which was amazing. But we will have future parties, and we want you to be a part of them. So don't give up, try again, and we appreciate you listening to the show, participating in the show, entering the contest, following us on Instagram, all that good stuff. So thank you so much to all of our listeners. Now, today's Extra Sugar segment, I wanted to talk about a new sugar daddy. Actually, I don't know. We're going to see. So the story is my buddy is 57 years old, and I play golf with him, and I've actually done business with him both in real estate and some other legal matters. But he is getting a divorce after like 30 years. I think he met his wife in college when he was in his 20s. They have a few kids. They're grown and off. I think one of them's already married. And anyway, the kids are out of the house. And his wife informed him recently that they are getting a divorce. So as he's going through the proceedings, he's finding himself single again, which is where I found myself after a 16-year marriage ended, not knowing really how to start. I hadn't dated in a long time, and now he is starting the process. And of course, the first thing he did is jump on some of the apps like we all know, Tinder, Bumble, Match. Let's see, what was some of the ones that he used? I think he said eHarmony and a couple others that I actually don't use or I didn't use, but the typical dating apps. And he's telling me that a lot of the conversations he has or has been having is with people that he just knows are robots or AI, or he feels like they're computer-generated conversations and they're just a bunch of fake profiles on there, which there is on all the apps. Even Seeking, we run across that quite a bit. Well, he knows the quality of girls that I go out with, and and I've sent him pictures over the last few years, and because he always enjoyed it being married, he kind of lived vicariously through me in my dating life, and I had a lot of really fucked up, funny stories I would tell him, and but throughout the whole process, I've learned to vet pretty well. I've gotten through the scammers, kind of figured out the scammers very quickly. I've learned some safe ways of dating, and all of a sudden he started asking me a ton of questions, and he asked me, of course, what site that I was using, and I told him that I was on all the dating apps and that I've used them all, but the most success I've had was through sugar dating. And I kind of had to explain to him that because he wasn't keen on paying a girl initially, and I said, look, you're just basically bribing them to give you an opportunity. They're not going to stick around if there's no chemistry, so you don't have to worry about them trying to milk you. You're going to figure that out really quick. But money cannot buy chemistry. And as Lily, my co-host, has found success, I have found a ton of success. Vivian and Kevin have found each other. So many people have found love through sugar dating. So there are great relationships to form. Even if it doesn't work out, I still have fantastic relationships with past sugar babies. And these people are genuine friends of mine. And I care deeply for them, and they care deeply for me, even though the romantic part didn't work out. So I encouraged him to go down this line, and of course he had tons of questions. And so here's a few things, and I'm just going to rattle these off the top of my head. I didn't write down a list or anything. We're just free-flowing here. But I told him, obviously you got to be careful because anytime there's a financial component involved, there's going to be scammers. I mean, it's just a natural thing that happens on these dating apps is they come out of the woodwork trying to scam you out of your money. And it's not just on Seeking. You guys know that it's everywhere. In everything that we do, there's just bad people out there. So you just got to be careful. But I encouraged him to get a secondary number, not to use his real number. And we talk about this all the time on the show. But our preference is Google Voice. It's free. You can choose your number. They cannot identify you through that number. Now, I know there's some texting apps and other places that you can get numbers. And if you have a better source, I'd love to hear it because we're always looking for recommendations to use ourselves and to recommend to our listeners. But Google Voice has seemed to work pretty well for us, and it's a nice app that's right on your phone, and it acts just like another phone number. And I specifically use that for all online dating and other online transactions or online interactions where I just don't want them having my main number or my quote-unquote real number. So that's the first thing I told him to do. And then he started asking me all these questions on how do you talk to these girls? What do you say? What do you do on the opening lines? Because sugar dating is a little bit different than regular dating because it does include the financial component. People kind of want to know, hey, what's in it for me? Because again, we are bribing them to meet us, and that's very foreign and very new to some people. So I was kind of guiding him on how to do that. Make sure you take the conversations offline. You don't want to talk too much about that on the Seeking app. Matter of fact, I'm not sure exactly what words get you banned off the site, but I've heard of many people that have got their accounts banned for saying the wrong things using the in-app messaging system. So I take the conversations offline very quickly. A lot of times I'll just say, hey, I love your profile. I mentioned something about what's in their profile and let them know some of our common interest. I also mentioned that I am familiar with the financial benefits that they are seeking, and I would be happy to share more photos and some information offline, and then I give them my phone number. Believe it or not, that works pretty well. I didn't used to structure it that way. I used to be a little more free until Seeking has kind of trying to change their image and crack down on the label that, they're an escort. I think actually they probably had a lot of pressure from the government being as disguised prostitution, but we all know that's not what this is. Again, you have to be careful when you're talking about money and sex and things like that. So I take it offline as quick as possible. Then when you get the conversation offline, then you can be genuine. And I like to ask, hey, have you been in an arrangement before? Are you familiar with arrangements? And most people say yes, or no, I'm new to this, or yeah, whatever. And then you just take it from there because everybody has unique wants and needs. And so you just try to figure out something that works for both of you. I like to compensate now for meet and greets, but I do vet the people that I meet and greet. Like, I'm just not going to go out and compensate every single person that I meet because there's a lot of people that are incompatible instantly. I'm trying to get away from meeting those people, and video chatting is a great way to do it. That was the other thing. He asked me, how do I video chat these people? Well, there's lots of ways. You don't have to use FaceTime. You can video chat through different apps. I think Google Meet is a good one. You can video chat through Instagram. I mean, start an Instagram account that doesn't tie any information to you. You can video chat there. You can video chat through Snapchat. You can video chat through Facebook Messenger. You can actually tie your Google Voice number to WhatsApp, and you can video chat there. So there's lots of ways that you can still do a video chat. WhatsApp actually is a great app to use. And a lot of people think, well, they have my real number. You don't have to use your real number on WhatsApp. I changed mine to use my Google Voice number. So that's a great way to not waste your time getting dressed, going out to meet somebody, and then if you have promised a little compensation for the meet and greet, you're not wasting a bunch of money on somebody that you have no chemistry with or somebody that you just don't want to see in the future. I encourage that. Not everybody's comfortable with that. Sometimes I just liked rolling the dice, like to see what would show up. There's a element of excitement to see if this person is actually better looking in person. Most of the time they aren't, but I've had many, many instances where they showed up and I'm like, wow, your pictures don't do you justice. And that's always a nice surprise. And a lot of times I'll see their picture and then their personality is completely different. Sometimes it's a much better than what I'm imagining, and many times it's much worse. A lot of times I'll see them and they look just like their picture, but then there's just something off with their personality, or you're just not meshing. So you're not really getting catfished, but I could have saved a lot of time by doing video chat, and I've got to do that more. Now, I'm currently in an exclusive relationship, and I don't plan on getting out of it anytime soon, but this is my experiences from the past, and I just wish I would have done a little bit more video chatting. But again, I'm a little bit of a thrill seeker, so sometimes we just roll the dice. Anyway, that was some of my advice to begin with, and then obviously don't compensate people up front. Don't pay for their gas. Do not pay for their babysitter. 99% of the time, those are scams, and they'll never show up, and you're out a few $100. I don't send gifts to people through Seeking. You don't know if this is some dude in his mother's basement. You really don't. And those things are overpriced anyway, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. Let's see, what else? I mean, you just got to be careful. If you like somebody, I would start them out on a PPM, which is a pay per meet, until things progress. I've heard too many stories of allowances being given right off the bat, and I am guilty of that, and then they disappear and you never see them again. So you're out for like a week's allowance or a month's allowance, and yeah, it didn't work out, and then you feel pretty stupid. So I like to start out PPM personally. Hey, let's go out, have a great time, whatever it is, whether we're going to dinner, a show, a comedy club, whatever it may be. And then, here's your financial gift for going out with me tonight, and let's do it again. That way, if you never see them again, and they never, or they ghost you, or whatever the occasion may be, you got what you came for, and they got what they came for, and nobody's out anything else. So that's just my recommendation. I think that's about it for now. We can go into a lot more later, but we cover all of this in the show, plus so much more. But anyway, I wanted to wish everyone a very happy holiday season. We are coming up on some really festive times, and I hope the sugar dating is going well for you. I know that, like I said, we have found a lot of success, but like Lily says, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find that prince. And I also like to say, when you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. But hopefully you're not dealing with too much mud and you're getting lots of nourishment. All right. Thanks again for listening to this segment of Extra Sugar, and don't forget to catch a full episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy every Tuesday, and sometimes we release an extra one on Fridays. And we do have quite a few in the books right now that I have not released, so I may surprise you next week or the following week with a double dose of episodes, so watch out for that. And then, we'd always appreciate a follow on Instagram. We've stepped up our game there, and it's the clips have gotten a lot better. And we always appreciate your support there. And you can DM us directly, and we get that instantly. So if you want to talk to me or Lily, or you want us to pass something on to the rest of the crew, DM us through Instagram at Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed your Extra Sugar with Marcus. As always, visit our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, to comment or tell us your story.